Hey, hello everybody, Disciple here with Overwatch Curios. Now we've done quite a few videos lately discussing the development of heroes within Overwatch. We've talked about how every hero goes through a ton of different iterations before they ever make it to the player, and also how the Blizzard team is always willing to try out a lot of different prototypes for heroes and abilities just to see how they do and how they feel in the game. But for a long time, players have asked about some of the heroes from the original concept and teaser art Blizzard released when the game was first announced. Now, some of these heroes have been reworked or designed and eventually made it into the game, like the infamous hazmat suit guy, who would eventually become Ana. However, many of these heroes are still a mystery for the fans. Have any of these other heroes made it past concept art? And if so, what happened to them? Is it possible that these heroes were reworked or could be added at a later date, or are they all trashed now? Luckily, Jeff Kaplan has been very active in reaching out with fans and answering questions such as these time and again. Jeff was asked the question, were there any hero concepts that you personally wish got past a test or concept phase but never saw the light of day? And how many hero concepts have been dumpstered over the course of development? Well, Jeff said, yes, we don't dumpster any of them. We keep working on them. If we take a look back at that original release poster again, there's two heroes that definitely stand out as distinct characters that would feel right at home within the world of Overwatch. The first of these is the red Juggernaut looking guy on the far right. While the Juggernaut was an original concept from the now defunct Titan project that later became Overwatch, we know that class was eventually reworked into the character Reinhardt that we have today. This character, however, looks to be an Omnic counterpart to Reinhardt, and would presumably be a tank as well. Unfortunately, unlike most of the other heroes in the picture, we can't really see any indication of his weapons, and so it's pretty hard to imagine what this character might have played like in the game. Now, to the left of him, between Tracer and Winston, there's also a tall and slender Omnic. People have theorized for a while that this could be Athena, the AI that Winston works with and talks to in several of the animated shorts, and the person talking at the start of all of the games, with the countdown. If this is Athena though, it seems odd that Blizzard would not put any more work into showing her, at least in the shorts, after giving her a model they intended to work around. So whether it is her or not, we can assume that this is another hero concept that's been left on the back burner for Blizzard to hopefully bring to life at a later point in time. And then there's this interview Jeff Kaplan did with GameStop, which again touches on the topic of unvisited heroes, or ones that never made it past internal testing and concepting. When jokingly asked about adding a cat hero to the game for the goodness of the internet, Jeff mentioned some more concepts that never really came out. The answer is yes. This is an exclusive, no one has ever heard this before, but when we were first starting to make Overwatch, we had to test the boundaries. It was new IP and we didn't know how far or wide we could go, so Winston was kind of this cornerstone in a lot of ways. It was like, hey, there's this gorilla and he talks, is that okay? Yeah, that's okay. Then on the other end of the spectrum, you've got guys like Soldier76, who is a soldier guy, and they were good bookends. But we had explored much further out from that. We had done a lot of concepting. We had one hero who was just a hockey player. Literally a hockey player. We later made a Lucio skin for a hockey player, but he was just a hockey player hero. There was this one hero that was a huge internal debate on the team because we just loved it so much, but it didn't make it. It was this jetpack and it had this cat that laid in it, like a cat does. Then every once in a while it would paw at the controls. It was a cat in a jetpack. That was one of those moments that helped define Overwatch. We just went, yeah, that's probably too far. But yes, we had a cat hero. Now I'd feel confident in saying that they never really planned to release Jetpack Cat, even if they did toy around with the idea, but the part about the hockey player is pretty interesting. While it was probably conceived before the lore of Overwatch began to unfold to the degree it has now, to a world where a hockey player would feel a little out of place, that crossover between concept and another character fits pretty perfectly. Lucio having a hockey-themed skin doesn't seem out of place, and it's really neat to see the team paying homage to the old concepts that never made the cut, and also contributes to my theory that Lucio was actually a Canadian character that they happened to change to Brazilian at the last moment. If you think about it, he has very few voice lines in Portuguese, he has really no accent that would lend itself to South America, and of course he is obsessed with ice and hockey. Now there might be hockey in Brazil, but do you have as many people with his accent in Brazil as well? Now it's also important to keep in mind balance in the game. Every time a hero is added to the game, it can directly impact the playability of other heroes within that game as well. We've been told since the game was announced that Overwatch is designed as a game focused around counterplay, and the reason the team will never remove the option to switch heroes during a game is because every hero is meant to have counters, and they build the game around that concept of switching on the fly as teams change or even as the map changes. For example, some maps like Route 66 transition from very tall skyboxes perfect for Pharah to confined points where you're better off switching to a flank or a close quarters hero like McCree or Reaper. So when asked if Blizzard had any idea of how many heroes they wanted to add, or if they had a goal for that value, Jeff was quick to explain why he doesn't want to churn out heroes quickly and would actually like to slow down the process over time. He says, "I don't have a number in my head. It's funny because when we first came up with the game concept, we had a really huge number in mind, and then we kept shrinking that number, and now we're more evaluating things almost like an evolving process. Each hero that comes out makes us evaluate how much time it should take for the next hero to come out. I really do feel that we should not be in a mode where we're shooting to have one hero a month or something like that. MOBAs need to do that because of the type of gameplay they have and the business model. I think we need to take a step back from hero development in Overwatch and really evaluate what it does to the meta, but also there's some other factors. One of the factors is our time and attention. The more heroes we add, the less attention we're giving to the existing 24 heroes that are already out there. Then also I think there's something that's really valuable in player affinity for a hero. That has to do with how the hero looks, the backstory, their relationships with other heroes in the game, and I feel like the more heroes we add, the less we can invest in each hero that already exists. So I would like to see hero development not go any faster than it currently is, and maybe over time even slow down somewhat. I want each hero to feel like a really special event where you're just so excited, they fit in, and once they're added, it feels like they were always meant to be there. I don't want to get into a mode where they're like, what's the hero of the week? And they start to homogenize with each other or take away from each other. So maybe a day comes when we get to see some of these concepts we've seen in the past applied to the game, or maybe the development team has indirectly given a nod to them in the game in one way or another that we can never know until Jeff decides to drop some knowledge in one of those exclusives. I love the fact that Blizzard continues to pay respects to its early development cycle and even to things like Titan. Things like the hockey skin for Lucio, things that the players would never even know were related to other concepts, are a really cool thing that shows how they never truly give up on any concept and how this game grows alongside the developers who have been involved in it from the very start, regardless of how unfitting some of these things may have seemed in the surface or in the past. With that being said though, I really hope we see some nods towards those original concepts from earlier, either as new heroes or as alternative skins for heroes that currently exist. Just to get that conversation ball rolling, we'll show this original concept art of heroes originally shared at the BlizzCon 2014 panel. While it's hard to make out, how many unreleased heroes can you count, and which one would you like to finally see added to the game? Well, let us know down in the comments below. And if you guys have any ideas for heroes, go ahead and share them with us in the comments or even tweet them at us. We love reading that kind of stuff, and if it's cool enough, it might even make it into a video. The hero that I feel like should most likely be added to the game is another burst healer. So we just had Moira announced, and Moira does seem pretty cool, and she can even heal up quite a bit. If she throws her orb onto a target, that restores 60 health per second, and her left click restores another 80 health per second, so she can actually heal someone up by quite a bit. But I would love to see a healer that's maybe more like a grizzled battle medic, maybe someone with a gun that heals similar to Ana, but instead of being a sniper like Ana, what if he had a healing shotgun where he could just pump up some syringes or healing pellets or whatever into his allies, and it requires him to be a bit close to them, but if he is close to them, he could heal them up incredibly quickly and get them back into the fight. It's always seemed a bit strange to me that a game like an FPS where there's so much burst damage, and especially in a meta where a hero like Junkrat is so popular because burst damage is so good, you don't have a healer that can do a lot of burst healing other than Ana, and Ana's pretty much been the only burst healer in the game for quite some time. So another hero with something like that could be really cool, and I think also could fit into the fantasy that Overwatch provides, but if you guys have your own ideas, I would love to hear from you as well. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, maybe you could subscribe for future videos. I would be forever indebted to you, and I would owe you my life. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Peace.